Hello, I'm Dr. Jennifer Degler, and this is our 5th video in our series, Helping Your Stressed Out Brain Chill Out, Worry and Anxiety Management Techniques. And I'm really excited about this 5th video because I'm going to get to teach you about the anxiety trick. How anxiety and worry are tricking your brain. So here's the big trick. Is when you experience discomfort and you treat it like danger. That's how your brain gets tricked. You're actually just in discomfort, but your brain reacts like you're in danger. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are really in danger. Well, in that case, you really do need your fight versus flight response to kick in. So let's say you're at the dentist and the dentist says, okay, I'm going to need to, give you a Novocaine shot. Let me go get that. And the dentist leaves the room, and then the dentist comes back in the room, and the dentist has not a Novocaine shot, but the dentist actually has a gun in their hand, and the dentist points that loaded gun at you. Now, are you in danger? Yes, you are in danger, and you need to either fight the dentist or you need to run away from the dentist because you're really in danger. But let's say what actually happens is the dentist leaves their room, the dentist comes back, and the dentist has a hypodermic full of Novocaine to give you a shot. They're going to shoot you, but they're shooting you with Novocaine. Now, some of you would say, I really am in danger because you don't like shots. But that dentist is actually trying to help you. So you're not really in danger. I mean, do you need to fight the dentist? Do you need to wrestle the dentist to the ground? No. Do you need to get up and run out of the dentist's office? No, because you're not really in danger. Now, are you about to be in some discomfort? Yes, you are. If you've ever had a shot in your mouth, you are about to be in some discomfort. But you don't need to fight or run away. So what do you do to deal with that discomfort that you're going to feel? Well, you probably just do something like say to yourself, okay, this is going to pass. This won't last very long. This will be uncomfortable, but then it'll pass. Maybe you breathe and then it passes. So what you do instead of fighting or fleeing is you float. You just float with the discomfort until it passes. And this is actually what is really good to do when you're anxious too. But what anxiety and worry do is they trick us into going into fight versus flight, like we're in danger when we're really just in discomfort. But here's the thing, what's good to do when you're in danger is not what's good to do if you're in discomfort. It's the opposite of that. And so anxiety tricks your brain. In particular, it tricks your amygdala. Remember, we were studying this in our first and second video about the brain and how this amygdala down here that is scanning for danger, it says sometimes it tricks your brain into thinking you're in danger when really you're just in discomfort. Right now in our country, there's a lot of scary things happening. There are a lot of unknowns, and people are really worried, and they're telling themselves a lot of really scary stories about what if. What if this happens to the economy? What if this happens with the hospital system? What if this happens with the toilet paper supply or whatever the situation may be? And really, in that exact moment, you're not in danger. You're just in discomfort. But you see, your brain, because it's thinking all these worried thoughts, all these what if thoughts, it's no longer living in the land of what is. It's been tricked into living in the land of what if. And in the land of what if, you're not okay. In the land of what if, you're in danger. And so your brain reacts that way. You flip your lid, you go into fight versus flight response, and you begin to react as if you're really in danger. And actually, that's not helpful at all if you're trying to just calm down from worrying and from anxiety. Because what happens then is either you'll start to fight the anxiety, you'll say, oh, I'm thinking all these worried thoughts again. I got to stop it. Quit thinking those thoughts. You're going crazy. You're going to make yourself crazy. This is stupid. And you try and push those worried thoughts away. And have you ever noticed that the more you insist on not thinking about something, the more you end up thinking about it? You know, if I tell you right now, don't think about pink elephants. Whatever you do, do not think about pink elephants. Put all thoughts of pink elephants out of your head. No pink elephant thoughts. What are you thinking about right now? That's right, pink elephants. So when we fight those thoughts in our head like that, we just end up getting more of them. Or maybe we go into fight versus flight against our panic and our worry, and we begin to flee from them. And we're like, okay, I'm just gonna think about pleasant thoughts. I'm just gonna think pleasant thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Or if what we're panicking in is maybe like if we're panicking at the mall, then we run away from the mall. Or if we're in a social situation and we begin to feel panicked, we run away from that social situation. But really, that's just training our brain that the mall is dangerous or that social situation was dangerous, which just means that we're going to more likely to experience panic and anxiety when we're in those situations again, which really aren't dangerous. So we get tricked. Worry tricks us into doing the opposite of what would make us feel better. Worry tricks us when we're driving and we're anxious. Worry tricks us into gripping the steering wheel with a death grip, when really what would be most helpful is to just hold the steering wheel lightly. Worry tricks us into tensing up our body, when really relaxing our body would be more helpful in helping that anxiety to pass. Worry tricks us into hiding our fears and not telling anybody else in the room that we're feeling kind of nervous, when really what would help that pass quicker is if we were able to just say to somebody, wow, I'm feeling really nervous right now. That could help that pass. So we get tricked into doing the opposite of what would help the worry pass on through. So the key is acceptance, and we're going to call that floating. Instead of going with that fight versus flight impulse, we go with a float impulse. If we can just accept that anxiety is happening, that we're experiencing it, and we stop trying to fight it, then it will be less of a problem. And it's so important that part of this acceptance is that we stop judging ourselves. So many times people who struggle with anxiety are just so harshly criticizing themselves in their head, saying, this is so stupid. Why do you worry like this? You're going crazy. You're going to make yourself crazy. But that just gets your brain more worked up. It's sort of like this Chinese finger trap. Do you remember these from when you were a kid? So here's the thing with a Chinese finger trap. The more you try and fight against it and get out of it, the more stuck you get. It's the same way with anxiety. But instead, how do you get out of this finger trap? Well, you have to kind of accept you're stuck in there and relax into that, and then use your tools, your thumbs, to get yourself out of it. And that's what we do with anxiety as well. The first step in using your brain to help change your brain and overcome worry and anxiety is to develop an attitude of acceptance when it happens. And that's going to put your brain in a much better place to then use some of the strategies that I'm going to teach you in subsequent videos. So relief comes when you give up the struggle, when you quit trying to fight it, when you quit trying to run away from it, and you just accept, oh wow, I'm going to feel some panic, I'm feeling some anxiety, wow, look, there's some worried thoughts coming across my head, and a thought is just a thought, and I can let it pass. So that's going to help you be much more relaxed so that you can apply the techniques that I'm going to talk about in our next video, including how to catch an anxiety spiral early and nip it in the bud. If you found this really interesting about the worry trick and how your brain is tricked into doing the opposite of what would actually be good for you, you might want to check out Dr. David Carbonell's book, The Worry Trick. Now, I have it on my e-reader, so then I know it looks backwards for you all, but this is what the cover of the book looks like, The Worry Trick. I'm going to provide a link to it below. I highly recommend this book. He's just come out with another one. I think it's called like the 10 best anxiety tips for dealing with the worry trick. So that's another one you could look at as well. But those are excellent, practical, really helpful books if you're somebody that struggles with anxiety and worry.